Having installed all of our systems and services, it's now been possible to pack our van with a few provisions and take some time away from home. More than pleased with how our van is performing, it is now time to install our cupboards, doors, drawers and trim. My neighbour Paul has already made us this fantastic window surround, and as we now move to trim our bed area, we'll be making a similar surround around the windows, and in this vlog we'll be showing you how.
You're working on passenger or driving. So we're taking this out then?
Yeah, take that one out. Well, you didn't have to wreck it, you just run your finger down the silver foil.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Off came our temporary piece of board insulation that had worked well for us over the summer, and we offered up one piece of 15mm birch ply, having first made a cardboard template of our window surround. And minor adjustments were made to ensure a perfect fit.
That bottom part of the window is lower than that part. Yeah, I've just got to take a little bit off that corner.
Got to go for the action shots.
You can't do that, we ain't got any PPE on. Somebody will have something to say. They're the two window frames. Well, we can laminate up now from with using the same thickness bit of timber, making sure that the joints are nice and flush, and alternate the joints. This is the first laminate for this window.
Okay, so why don't we cut just multiple pieces of these then and keep adding these?
Because it's a waste of timber, really, complete waste of timber. So we've got offcuts from previous jobs we did, and we're just using that, overlapping the joints every time we laminate up. So it's going to be gluing, tacking them in, letting them dry, sort these joints out so they're nice and neat.
Off came the insulation that had served us well over the summer months, and on went one solid piece of 15mm birch ply cut to the window profile. Offcuts of the same 15mm birch ply were then scribed and cut to match the one-piece frame. Larger pieces formed the full curves of the ends, and thinner strips were cut to bridge between them. PVA glue was applied to the initial frame, and all pieces built up on top. Before clamping into place, nail gunned and allowed to dry overnight. This process occurred several times to build up the frame to the desired thickness. Once dried, the frame was mounted up to 9mm birch ply that will form our bedroom wall, then scribed and put out. It will now be bonded before preparations for fitting.
Throughout the build, our van has always presented us with solutions. Pre-existing holes are perfectly situated in the van's framework that were drilled out to accept riv nuts that we can use to mount the top of our window trim. The bottom slots perfectly in line behind the angled alloy used to support our bed frame. Here we drilled and countersunk holes to allow us to screw directly through to the window trim. All checked and prepared for fixing, our trim can now be protected with coats of water-based VOC varnish from Lakeland Paints. Not cheap, but we've been more than happy with the finish and durability. Throughout our van, we've been using sheet wall insulation to complement a good venting system. However, awkward to support in this location, we will be reusing the Celotex style insulation. Nicky tapes 125mm thick piece in place, then we offer up a second piece to total 50mm. With the overall shape cut out, we scribe and cut the piece to fit around our window surround. This piece will be directly mounted to the window trim to deliberately create a gap between the two pieces of insulation. This gap will allow the continuation of airflow and ventilation through the entire wall. One last fit, making sure all's well, we can now prepare for painting. Sanding with 180 grit removes all minor scuffs and gives us a good clean surface ready for priming. Masking tape covers the areas we don't want painting, then a coat of acrylic primer is applied. Once dry, we lightly sand to a smooth finish with 400 grit, before repeating the process with another spray and another sand. Happy with a good smooth finish, 2 coats of Rust-Oleum Sage Green gives us our final desired finish, and whilst tacky, we remove the masking tape exposing our contrasting colour and texture. After a few days to harden, we carefully laid the trim face down on a soft cloth to avoid any scratches on our freshly painted surface. We then fixed our insulation in place with foil tape, and all secure, we could now lift the panel in place, taking great care not to scratch the paint. Nikki screwed the panel bottom in place before we clamped the top with 30 by 30 aluminium profile that will form part of our overhead cabinet framework. I was keen to call it a day, but Nikki pressed on, adding reflectix to what will be the back of our overhead lockers. UPVC was then quickly and easily slotted in place to form a solid back wall. It then only took minutes to complete and fit the rest of our framework, which was a good place to finish our day and end this vlog. So thank you for watching, and if this vlog has been of interest, please find time to give us a like and subscribe for the next instalments as we continue to trim out our van.